family, what is up, guys? How you guys doing? This is my well, this will be my third YouTube video that I'm putting on my channel, but this is like the one right here. I actually wrote this all out and everything, and I've been trying to record this video for the longest. I really just got finished with this same video, but mind you, it was about 49 minutes long, but I had the whole time it was facing the opposite way. And you know what, I'm just gonna check it right now just to make sure it's facing. So yes, it is what it is. How I got introduced to spirituality, how I was put on to spirituality, thanks to the ETs, extraterrestrials. You guys want to know? Well, if you stay tuned and stay here for this whole entire video, I will let you guys know. Okay, so and it's gonna explain. I'm gonna bring everything back full round. There's a lot that I have to talk about in this video. A lot of stories that left a mark on me. What the stories that I'm telling in this video, these are all real life experiences, and they left a mark on me, and it just in why I came to the conclusion that I've come to, and we'll get to that at the end of the video. All right, so. And I'm going to show you the other videos too, because I've been trying to record this video since July, but something has always just been stopping me. I mean, you guys know how the universe works. You're going to know who he is. When the universe time, the universe is time. And there's a reason that now this video was out. Now you know. Now I'm about to put you guys on. I'm about to put you guys on game. Because I read a lot. I listen to a lot of books. I read a lot of books, and I love talking about this stuff. So to tell you a little bit about myself, I grew up in my mom, she was evangelical Christian. She didn't let me watch any movies with like any type of magic in it. All that stuff is always like bad, stay away. Just a lot of like, you know, she had me out there passing tracts out with her when I was younger. You know, I was a kid. I didn't even know what was going on. I just knew that, okay, well, I guess there's only one way to heaven. You have to follow the Bible, do what it says. But think about it, I'm a kid. I'm like 8, 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? So when I was 2, and I just found this out this year, apparently when I was 2 years old, my mom, I was talking to spirits, and my mom, she had walked in on me talking to spirits, or I don't know the exact story, but she shunned me. She shunned the spirits away. So any type of psychic abilities that I had, any type of me connecting with my higher self, my heart, just talking to spirits and seeing, you know, my third eye basically was just shut. It was that's the moment that it was completely shut off. So I went to church until about like high school. Like I was baptized, saved, all that. Like I went through all that, read the Bible, did all that. But in high school, I left Christianity because I felt in my heart, I knew it wasn't for me. Like I knew this was not right. If that makes sense. I just knew this wasn't the truth. I knew that this is not right. Like Jesus is the only way to heaven. Like what? Like if you don't follow and the Bible is so contradicting. It's just like, you know, for me, I shut all that off. But with me shutting Christianity out, I shut any type of, like, I didn't believe in ghosts. If I couldn't see it and touch it, if it wasn't right in front of my face, then it didn't exist to me. Nothing existed except what was in front of me, the physical. That's it. That's all that existed to me. So then yeah, I graduated the army. I graduated high school in 2010, and then I joined the army right out of high school. I think I joined before. I was about to, actually, they have a program in the army, and it's crazy, like, because they have recruiters that are up in the schools all the time. Like, I was gonna join the army in 11th grade because the recruiters, they come and they make it sound so good. And like, you think about it, you're a kid and you're in high school, and you don't know what you're gonna do with the rest of your life. And so, you know, I decided for some reason, like, I was gonna join because I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to have all this debt from college, and I just knew that I didn't like school. School wasn't really for me. So I joined, and my MOS was a MP, a 31 Bravo military police. That was my MOS because at the time females couldn't join any type of combat units. So, being an MP, like what my recruiter told me, this is going to be the closest thing to combat that you're going to get. So I was like, all right. And I didn't want to be a medic, or I don't even think I scored high enough on the ASVAB to be a medic, because the MP wasn't my original choice. My original choice was actually 25 Victor. I believe it was a camera person. Like, that's what I'm like. I'd probably still be in the Army, honestly, if that was my job. But that's probably why, the universe works out. You in hindsight, now looking, I'm kind of just glad everything worked out the way it worked out, because I just love where I'm at in life right now. But I'm going to continue, because it took a long time to get to this place mentally. So my first duty station, I think I'm an 18-year-old kid. My first duty station is Heidelberg, Germany. And I had the time of my life in Germany. And those of y'all who know, like, Germany is a hot spot. I didn't know that at the time. Like I said, I have no third eye open, chakras not. I've never even meditated in my life at this point in time. So, but Germany is also the place where I had my first out of body experience. And I'm gonna tell you this because it's gonna come back around full circle. And that happened in 2012. So this totally freaked me out. So I've been living in Germany for some time already, and it freaked me out. So I was in the barracks one night, and I was sleeping, and I woke up, and I had sleep paralysis. I couldn't move. I was trying to yell for my roommate. I had a roommate. She was on the other side of the room, and I tried to call her name, couldn't do it. I was just stuck, and I was so scared. Like, all I felt was fear. And I would think I was scared because I didn't have control of anything. I didn't have control of my body, and that's just how I felt. And that's what scared me the most, is I just didn't have any control of my body. So I'm freaking out, but I can't even move. And all of a sudden, I'm getting up, but it's not me getting up. And I felt like I was in water. Like, I just felt like I was floating. Like, it's like I got up slowly. Like, this is my body, right? And I just sat up in the bed, just like real slow, just like real, like, I felt like I was, come thinking about it now and talking about it, it just felt like I was out of my body. But when I looked over, I didn't see my body. Like, I couldn't see myself. And then all of a sudden, I was just floating in the room. Like, I was floating in the room, but like I didn't have a body, if that makes sense. And my laptop on 33% right now. And I'm telling this story. Well, finally, I was able to wake up. Like, finally, like, I woke up, and I just that I went to my shift, and I was telling some battle buddies. One guy overheard me. Now, I never really had too much interaction with him, and still don't. But he came over, and we have mutual friends with people that we hung out with, the same people, whatever. He came over, he heard what I said. He was like, yo, he was like, the same thing happened to me. I was like, yo, and I'm gonna come back to him too as well. Like I said, all of this I'm telling you is for a reason, so I'm not here to just waste your guys' time. Fast forward to 2013, I end up leaving Germany. Didn't want to, was forced to. I got stationed at Fort Drum. Now, Fort Drum, New York. That was the worst. I had the worst time of my life there, but I met some of the most amazing people. And so I was on mid-shift this one night, working at night, and I was my patrol supervisor. We're gonna call him Sergeant D. Okay. So he used to be stationed in Japan. Sergeant D used to be stationed in Japan. So we spent this whole shift of, he was telling me about his time in Japan, his experience, and then he told me this wild, off-the-wall story about how he was at this bar one night, and this scientist who used to work for like the CIA, or he used to work for, like, he was basically like an inside guy, and I don't know if he was still working for them, I don't know what, but he was just telling him all this crazy stuff, how the government has these alien hybrids, like how Area 51 is, you know, where the government is like test certain weapons, and how they test certain weapons from getting information from different types of extraterrestrials, from certain from ETs. And this story definitely left a mark on me. It definitely left a mark on me. So at this time, like I said, I could not stand the military. I hated Fort Drum. I think it was just the people, it was just the time, you know, it was just time to go. Also at this time, you know, my grandma had passed, and we were still in 2013. Also at the time, my grandma on my dad's side, she had passed, my grandma Rosa. I didn't really get to spend a lot of time with her growing up, because she lived down in Georgia, Americus, Georgia, but she passed away from breast cancer. I'm in the military, and like I smoke my weed. I like smoking my weed. And cause it was just so stressful. Like, it was so stressful. I still did my job. But because I didn't get caught for a little bit, just because I would like flush my system out and stuff like that. But then I started, you know, in order to just get away, like let go, I started popping like pain pills. I started popping like Percocets, codeine. The army, it's easy to get your hands on pain pills, because you know that's really like tramadol. The doctors like prescribed, like doctors. I had hurt my hand. You know, I was angry person. You know, at that time I had a real bad temper, and I punched the refrigerator, and never broke a bone in my life, which is crazy. But my hand like blew up. It was just real swollen, and you know the doctor prescribed me tramadol, and I was just walking around just I was just a walking numb mess. That's really what I was. I didn't want to feel anything. I hated feeling any type of emotions. I hated feeling them. I didn't want to feel them, like, because I wasn't happy being in the military. Being there, I just was not happy. Like, I couldn't be myself. I couldn't be who I like really wanted to be, and I definitely couldn't have my hair like this. And so then I started smoking. I started smoking more and more, like, because I didn't really like the pills. Eventually I popped high. They caught me. I popped high on a drug test, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me. That was probably one of the best things that could have happened to me, was popping high on that drug test. And another thing too, the army, they really don't, they give you a hard time too if you try to go to behavioral health. They give you a hard time. They do give you a hard time if you try to go to behavioral health. So that's another thing I'm gonna throw in there too. But one night, you know, I almost overdosed one night. I almost overdosed. I remember taking some, I don't know if I snorted them. I might have snorted them. I might have popped them. You know, I don't know what it was, but I'm laying on my bed, and all of a sudden, like, I could feel my heartbeat getting slower and slower and slower. And then I just had this feeling like, yo, if I fall asleep right now, I'm going to die. Like, I'm not waking back up. I just had this feeling, and then all of a sudden, when I had that feeling, I felt like breath, like life was just breathed into me, like someone just breathed life into me. And so at this point, I was already on my way to they had sent me to I went to a rehab center in Fort Belvoir, Virginia, and that was, I love going. That literally, that saved my life. So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for the people and the staff that was at the rehab center that I went to in Fort Belvoir. It really helped me. It really helped me a lot. If it didn't, you know what I'm saying? If you know, I think it don't work. It do help me a lot. So So the next day, after like a few days after, I had almost overdosed, um, I had CQ. I had CQ, and all the CQ charge of court is basically, it's just when you got to mark when people are coming in and out of the building. So my first sergeant, he's, it's the end of the day, and he starts talking to me, and he starts giving me like encouraging words and stuff like that. He's not really being an a-hole, which they usually are. So, we got to talking, and I had told him about what had happened to me. Somehow, because I was already going to rehab at that point. I think he started talking about that, and he was just like, has somebody close to you passed? And I was like, yeah, like has one of your family members or somebody just passed? And I was like, yeah, like my grandma Rosa. And he basically just told me, he was like, that's why you're still here. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this in the video, because just thinking about a lot. It's a lot of emotion, but it's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel emotion. Sometimes you just gotta let it out. You just gotta let it out. But I want to get through this video. Because I know I need to. And I feel like this video is gonna help a lot of people. So, yes. But my first sergeant, like I said, he had told me his wife usually calls by then, and he was like, for some reason his wife hasn't called, and he was talking about the universe. And at this point, I'm not even like, I don't believe in like how the universe works. I don't even know about any type of a higher power except Christianity, which I knew that wasn't right. And he was just like, this is a sign, telling me this, my first sergeant, right? This is like, would be, if you're watching this and you don't know the military, sorry, I'm talking military jargon a lot. But my first sergeant, that's somebody that would be like my boss. So basically it's like your boss telling you this. And I was just like I felt that. And he was like, his wife hasn't called for some reason. And also the cool thing too about me making this video, so on CQ there's two people that you have to be on CQ with. Okay, and I realized that in making this video, the person who was telling me about like the government, who the Sergeant D, he was actually right there with me when I had when I was talking to my first sergeant. He was there for the whole conversation, heard it, everything. He handed me a box of tissues because I started crying there too. So the same guy who I spent 8 hours with talking about aliens in the car, and he was on shift with me that night at CQ when I was having that deep conversation with my first sergeant. And I never put two and two together until making this video. Like, that never clicked with me until I was writing out, the different sequences for the blueprint for this video. So now at this point, boom, I leave the Army. I'm out the Army. I get out the Army in July 2014. I didn't want anything to do with the Army, with the military, nothing. I left a lot of mental health issues I had. I just buried them. I buried them with drinking, with alcohol, and marijuana. I moved back to my hometown, and I was back in my mom's basement. I had to get a job, so I got a job at Best Buy at this warehouse, and I hated it. I could not stand that job. I ended up meeting my soon-to-be ex-wife. I ended up meeting her, and she was in the Army. She was stationed back at Fort Drum, where I just left. So we get married within like 3 months knowing each other. Like, my name is Pat. They call me Pat. They don't call me Patrick for no reason. Like, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and you know what I'm saying? When I love somebody, when I think I loved falling in love. That's what it was. It wasn't that I actually loved that person. I just loved falling in love. But I didn't really love myself because, you know, I just still wasn't fully myself. I felt like still finding myself, you know, but I didn't truly love myself. So that marriage just off the bat was already going to end in divorce. No matter how hard we tried, we wanted to make it work. Like, I'm telling you, when the universe wants something, when the universe wants something, they want something. If the universe don't, they ain't gonna work out. So we ended up trying to force it to work anyways. You know, we was married for 3 months. We've known each other for 3 months, got married, ended up trying to stick it out for 3 years. But 3 years is better than trying to stick it out for a whole lifetime and realizing that you just can't be the person that you want to be with this person. So some people end up realizing that 25 years after marriage. But I ended up moving with her to El Paso, Texas. And El Paso, Texas has changed my life. Okay? El Paso, Texas changed my life forever. All my trials and tribulations started, like real trials and tribulations started here. I went through it like with the marriage, and then I was trying to pursue, at the time I was trying to pursue music full time because no 9 to 5 job. I wasn't happy with any 9 to 5 job. You know what I'm saying? Like at that time. But then again, I wasn't really happy with myself. But I was thinking that like making music and doing that's what made me happy. It's what brought me true happiness. But then once you stop doing it, it's like, it's back down. So at this point, our lives are on 2 totally different tracks. She's a civilian. She's still in the Army, still got to live this by the book lifestyle. And I'm out trying to I'm a civilian trying to pursue my music career. I can't even, smoke my weed in peace. So, I was going down a dark path. And going to therapy, getting diagnosed with bipolar, getting put on pills. The doctors put me on pills. I attempted suicide. It was a lot. I was dealing with a lot at the same time of trying to make this marriage work. So yeah, it was just a lot. I ended up separating. We ended up separating, and I moved to a different part of El Paso because I loved El Paso. I wanted to stay there. So, the Northeast is what they call. I moved to the Northeast side, and that's what they call the Devil's Triangle, or they try to call it the Angel's Triangle, but most people they call it the Devil's Triangle. And it's crazy that I was living in this. What I'm saying? I had no idea. I didn't look up. Like, I was trying to find a place to live because I was trying to separate. It wasn't like I was like, okay, this place is named Devil's Triangle. I think I'm gonna move here. No, and I wasn't even aware of any like I said, I'm not even spiritually aware. Still not spiritually aware at this point in time. So I'm attempting to live like this poor man's way of thinking lifestyle, basically trying to pursue this music career by just being in the streets a lot, like just trying to get that's really what it was. And at this point I was introduced to a dear friend of mine named TK. I was introduced to him through management. We had the same manager. We were signed to the same management, and we just had we had a whole team, and we just had dreams of making it. We was all managed by the same person, but I think we just all had different perspectives on how, like how the music industry worked. Like, I had no idea how the music industry worked. Like, I was fresh, new, didn't know nothing about nothing. Now I know. But yeah, I was just around a lot of BS. So at this point, but at this point, at the same time, I'm finding myself. So I'm finding myself, and I'm trying to make a positive change. I started going to therapy. I was going to school. I was just trying to keep my mind busy. I was trying to keep myself occupied, which, you know, it was helping. You know, and it definitely helps when you're doing stuff. So I was taking a film class at this time, and we got to check out, you know, these really expensive cameras. And we were, you know, I was filming I had to do like film a commercial or something. So my friend, he has an entertainment company, or he's trying to start an entertainment company. And what he would do is he'd, you know, get these Airbnbs, and then he would throw parties at them. So he had invited my friend TK, the one who we were signed to the same management team. He had hit him up because he could get a lot of heads out to the party, like everybody, you know what I'm saying? TK was definitely gonna blow up. He was definitely gonna blow up as a rapper. Like, once he just needed that, and he would have blew up. But so we had this party. My friend KJ, he paid him, you know, to throw this party in October. It's October 2018. So this party left a mark on me as well. It's forever. Like, this is the textbook definition of partying in hell. Everybody, like, you know, party was, I think it was over. Like, you know, it was a good night. Nobody was, like, no fights or nothing that broke out. Everybody, like, everything was calm and collected, you know, for the most part. And then DJ was already packing up. Like, the speakers were out the house. The speakers was out the crib already. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's leaving, going home. And, you know, this one dude, he had an issue with somebody there. He had an issue with somebody. And, you know, one thing leads to another. It's loud, like a big rumble. TK's trying to break this up, right? TK's trying to break this fight up. That's what he's doing. That's what he's in the middle of doing, is trying to break up this fight, right? And it had nothing to do with him at all. He was just trying to break this fight up. Now, you know how people are, like, gaggled together. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're gaggled together, right? Now, all of a sudden, like, I'm filming, and then all of a sudden, all you see is, all I hear is, like, a car going to gear, and then all you hear is boom, and then boom. Dude just hits everybody like a bowling ball. Dude just hits everybody like a freaking bowling ball. You know what I'm saying? And I was just, like, stunned. Before I could even pick my mouth up to even say anything else, all of a sudden, like, dude, not even a few feet away from me, pulls out a Glock, starts spraying. Boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yo, if somebody wasn't dead before they got hit that car, I'm like, somebody is dead now. Like, that's just, I was in the middle of a miracle, because I was thinking, like, as soon as dude started spraying, all I'm thinking in my head is, if somebody wasn't dead, they dead now. But I was in the middle of a miracle. I was in the middle of a freaking miracle. Like, nobody died that night. Nobody died. By the grace of God, nobody died that night. You know, and I had it on film, and I watched it over and over and over. But, like, I was just thankful, you know, to whoever was watching over me. I was just like, I don't know who's watching over me, but I'm thankful for it. And then, like, after that, everything just started going downhill even more. Like, after that, you know, when you around negative stuff, like, negative things just keep happening. Boom, 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 here, there. Like, it just went downhill from there. I should have left El Paso after that, but I still decided to stay. I decided to stay in El Paso because I was still trying to follow this music. I should have left. Right after that, I should have been left. I should have packed my stuff and left everything and went to New York. But I didn't. Like, I stayed. and I was still trying, like I said, follow this music. I was failing in class. I failed horribly in my classes. Still trying to pursue music. Um, January 27th, 2019. I was in Phoenix, Arizona this morning. On my way to LA, going to like a some type of premiere thing. I met this publicist or whatever, some type of agent who, was just going through the damn motions. Like, out in LA, she's like, oh yeah, you gotta go through this party because everybody goes. Basically, like, LA is just so fake. Like, LA is one of the fakest places ever. People, like, it's nice going out there, like, just to chill and stuff. It's expensive as hell out there, but these parties that there's these people, the Instagrammers on there with like 27,000, and everybody's the whole time the party just on their phone, like just taking pictures, just like I'm just like, who are these people? But they got so many followers on IG, and they're just like, really, everybody was acting like a celebrity, but like nobody. I'm like, yo, it's crazy, but this is what they, showing on their IG. Like, it's crazy, like how LA is just, it's literally fake it till you make it out there, like fake everything. But that morning I was still in Phoenix, and I'm sitting I'm get up, go to the bathroom, sitting on the toilet. I do my little thing, scrolling through IG. Instead of getting up and meditating or something like that, I get up and scroll on IG. Now that's just changed now. But I see a post and it says RIP TK. And I'm like, yo, no, this is not real. Like, and first thing I'm like, no, this is fake. This is fake. This gotta be fake. This has to be fake. Like, this has to be fake. Because there's no way. I just watched this young brother survive getting hit by this car and not getting hit by one of those bullets, but he don't make it through the first month of 2019. Yeah, that right there, like. And then I think it was felt even more weird to me, like going to that party, but we was already in Phoenix. Going to that party out in LA, it was just like, I think I just shut everything off. Like, I knew how to just not feel anything. Like, I was just gone numb. I couldn't believe it. Like, I was in shock. So now at this point, I gotta look deep within. But I felt like after that, I think I fell into a deep depression, like a deeper depression. I dropped out of school. I ended up getting evicted from my apartment, and then at that point, I moved in with my friend. So I was living with him for a few months, and because he had an extra bedroom, so I was living with him and his girlfriend for a few months, and I had plans to move to Phoenix, but thank God that fell through. Thank the universe that fell through. I ended up meeting this girl on Tinder, right? On Tinder. Now, this is how the universe works. I ended up meeting this girl on Tinder, and she ended up being the sister of TK's baby mom's best friend. I think, if that makes sense. But she would sometimes watch his daughter sometimes. And that's really the only reason. This is what like kept me talking to her. We're gonna call her L. We're gonna call this girl L. So L, I wore my heart on my sleeve. We fell for each other. All that stuff. She was planning on moving to North Carolina. Try to keep it long because this is already a long story. So she was she was moving to North Carolina, and I was starting to think about moving back to New York. I just had to get my stuff together. Like, I had to get my life together. Because at this point I was sleeping on my friend's couch. At this point, I was sleeping on my friend's couch because my other friend, who I had the room with, he had deployed. And once I made a decision, so my friend, he had deployed at this point. So anyway, Elle, she moves to North Carolina, and then I had made a decision to, I had made my decision to move back to the East Coast. I made that decision, and I feel like once I made the decision to move back to the East Coast, her family, Elle's family is they from down south Baptist, right? And one day I get this text message from her, right? Like we talk on the phone every day, and we text each other all the time. And at one point she didn't text me for like 7 hours because she went to some kind of Christian convention that they have, some kind of women's Christian convention. And so then I get a text message saying, I got saved tonight. I accepted Jesus as my savior. I can't talk to you no more. And I was just like, this crushed me. So this hit me hard. Like, after everything that I already went through, everything I was already going through, I went through I was already the beginning of that year divorced. Then, everything that happened with that party in October, and then losing, somebody I looked at like a little brother. I was devastated. Like, and then this, and the only person that, like, the only reason I really talked to her like that was because, she would watch TK's daughter sometime, and I just, like, I don't know, like, the universe works in crazy ways. But when I last talked to her, to Elle, at this point we're in what I want to say, like, maybe June 2019. Let's talk to her aunt, who was a self-proclaimed prophet for God, right? Well, she's just a energy manipulator. I know that now. Like, this hurt me to the core, but it made me look deep within myself. It made me question the universe. It made me question God. It made me question all of that. So in hindsight, I needed this, because when I did, I remember one night, in one of my little depressive modes or whatever, it was raining outside. It was raining real hard, thunderstorm, lightning. I'll show a clip. And I just remember I just sat out in the rain. I cried out to God, and I was just like, yo, show me the truth. Like, I want answers. I just want to know. I just want to know the truth. That's it. That's all I wanted to know. I have a snap, and like, I had filmed it because something was looking cool. So I like filmed it, and then I caught some type of like orbs or something crazy on there. I'll show you guys the clip. But yeah, I wanted to know. Like, I just wanted to know. I said, show me the truth. Show me the truth. And when you ask the universe to show you the truth, the universe will show you the truth. So we ended up, me and this female, we ended up hooking up again. I went to North Carolina. We ended up hooking up again. And then I went back to New York, and I just decided to, I don't like that I could feel the wishy-washy energy, and I don't like that. So I decided to tell Elle, like, I felt all the way back, and I'm so glad I did. I decided to leave music behind, leave everything behind. Like I said, leave El Paso behind. I just decided to focus on myself, and that was the best decision I ever did, was just focus on myself. Just solely focus on myself, not focus on trying to get in a relationship, I was just focused on getting my own place. Like, I needed that. But I had to get my personal life in order, and I had to go back home with my tail tucked between my legs and move back in my mom's basement at 27 years old. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm starting all over again. Like, and at this point, so I couldn't even drive across country. Let me tell you what happened right before and I didn't even write this in my notes here. It just all of a sudden came to me. Right before I was leaving El Paso, like I was going out like a champ. I was going out like a champ. The last weekend I went, like I said, I was still in my little depressive mode, but I was like, man, fucking why not? Like, so I just went and partied all night, went to this strip club, and my car ended up breaking down at the strip club. It broke down. My car that I had a little Dodge Avenger, a white Dodge Avenger, right? It had ended up breaking down, and I didn't have no money to fix it because I needed this money to get back home. So I just went and I was like, this is it. Like, so, and then it got towed and then went to the impound and all that. But I was leaving El Paso. I had already plans to leave El Paso in like 3 days. I wasn't driving my car there because my car already had some issues, but it was still drivable. But now it was not drivable at all. Like, I had plans to come back and get my car. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, damn, I gotta buy a whole new car. So yeah, I had to get my personal life in order. I moved back home. I applied for a job, and I have support and family back here in Binghamton, and I had applied for a job, and in a week I got applied for a few jobs, and within a week I had got a job at an arts and crafts store. Like, and I've lived in this town my whole life, and I've never been to this arts and crafts store before, ever, until I went for this interview, and went to the interview and got the job, and then with the interview, like, he was like, when can you start? And I'm just like, dude, I can start as soon as possible, ASAP. So finally, it was really, I'm still there to this day, but and I love it, but that's because I love myself. Like, I love my job. I mean, of course, there's other things that I wish I could be doing, but I know I need to live in this matrix, comfortably. I need the income coming in, some type of income. So one day I'm stocking paint in this aisle, and one of my coworkers, he don't never say nothing. He don't never say, like, he's quiet. He was just like, yo, you believe in aliens? I'm just like, alien? He's like, yo, you believe in aliens? I'm like, I thought about it, and then I thought about everything I went through with old girl, and the whole religion thing, and I thought about it, and I was just like, I don't know. And he was just like, he kind of chuckled, and he was just like, what you mean you don't know? And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't. He was like, well, you believe in something? Like, I'm like, yeah, I believe, I guess I believe in something, but it made me think, and I asked him why he asked me that. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, I asked him why he asked me that. He said he was listening to this book called Keepers of the Garden. And that book, Keepers of the Garden, changed my life. It changed, like, there's no doubt about it. That book changed my life. But the universe literally threw that book at me, put it in my path, because I wanted to know the truth. Now, he'll tell you it was a wrap. It was a wrap from there. Now my coworker, he was reading this book about regression. It's basically about regression therapists. And I'll do another video on regression therapy, but I'll give you a quick rundown on what regression therapy is. Past life regression therapy is a method that uses hypnosis to recover what practitioners believe are fragments, memories of past lives, or incarnations. Now Dolores, who's a past life regression therapist, she comes across in this book her first patient who's had a past life. This soul that's in that patient's body, right, has a past life on another planet, but this is her first patient she comes across who's had this, she's ever had. And this is where I got the term starseed from. So basically, in the book was published in 1993, and Dolores Cannon, she passed away in October 2014. But a lot of what she wrote resonated with me, and I could relate to the character Phil in the book, because we were both basically the same age in the book. We both served in the military. That's another thing I'm gonna come back to. Like I said, back around the stories I was telling you, when he got abducted by aliens, he described what I felt in Germany, my out-of-body experience. That's what he described. And like when he was talking about it in the books, I listen to the books while I'm at work. That's another thing I love doing, listening to my books while I work. That's why I love my job too, because I go to work and I learn stuff while I'm putting stuff away that I'm gonna create stuff with. Yeah, so like he explained that. When he explained it, like I had to stop what I was doing. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, because that sounds like what happened to me when I was in Germany. And the other thing about it too is my battle buddy, who experienced the same thing around the same time where I discovered the book. Unfortunately, he passed away. They don't know if it was an overdose. It was either an accidental overdose or overdose, a suicidal overdose. So they're not sure. And this gave me, when I learned about this, it gave me chills, because in the book she also talks about there's different waves that are happening of starseeds being born into human bodies, but their souls come from a different place. You don't remember, obviously. You can't access, unless you access the Akashic records, is what she does when it's kind of what she does when she put these patients under trance. So then finding that out, that a lot of these starseeds, they do commit suicide, and they do they're coming. She makes it a point to talk about this in the book. So I definitely do suggest, I recommend the book. And if, say you came across this just for random reason, you're not spiritually aware or anything like that, somehow you made it this far in the video, first of all, I just want to say thank you. Second of all, I definitely recommend this book. Read it with an open mind. You have to leave behind everything you know, but Dolores Cannon, she baby walks you through it. She'll prepare you. She prepares you yourself. And I had recommended this book on my Instagram. Somebody from my Instagram, this young man, he read this book, and this is what he wrote to me. So read this screenshot right there. But reading the book just blew my mind, because a few months ago I was sitting in the rain. Let me make sure this video's still going. Yep, it's still going. A few months ago I was sitting in the rain. I gotta hurry up because my phone is about to die. I was sitting in the rain. I was just asking God for answers, and the universe gave it to me. And so after reading this book, I went down a rabbit hole, and I just started feeding my soul. And once I started feeding my soul, my life got better. My life got better because so I saved up enough money. I bought a car. I got my own place. My life has just been more positive, and I'm just figuring out who I am. So if you're watching this video and you made it this far to the video, I just want to tell you that whatever you're going through, whatever dark place that you're in, or whatever, maybe you're not in a dark place, but maybe you're just going through something right now, it's gonna be okay. You're going to get over that. Life is going to go on. This too shall pass. You just have to keep going. Especially those, I know there's a lot of starseeds watching this video now that don't even know that they're starseeds. Start finding yourself. Start finding yourself. Start educating yourself. I beg you to please just read this book, because it changed my life. It really did, and it opened my mind up to a lot. So this is also a sign that whatever you're going through, things are gonna get better. They're gonna get better. Trust me, because if you read this book, you'll see that a lot of what she's talking about, this book was published in 1993. A lot of what she's talking about is happening now. So I just suggest you guys to please read this book. I got to check and keep going, because you don't understand. I made this video, but the universe is gonna work it out. So just know that things will get better. Just know that Everything is going to be okay. Don't have fear, because fear is a disease. And you are your higher self. Listen to your higher self, which is you. Only you can decide what resonates with you. Okay, so if this video resonates with you, please hit that like, subscribe button, share this video, post this video on your IG, on your Facebook, wherever. Share the link to your Facebook, share it to your IG, especially if you like this video. But that is how I got introduced to spirituality, through Extraterrestrials. That's my story, and that's basically, you know, I had to put a little caption up there. That's my story. But you know, I figured out I was a starseed. I got to, you know, I started going to regression therapy as well. I definitely suggest that, and I'm gonna make another video on that. But if you like this video and you want me to keep doing more videos, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, subscribe. You know, I need a certain amount of subscribers to start getting this channel monetized. That's definitely a goal for me, because I want to be able to put more time into making these videos. So I'm saying, like, subscribe, share this, especially if it resonates with you well. So there's a few things I want to add to this video. Making this video, I've done a lot of reflection. It's been a lot of I've done a lot of reflecting, and I can't believe like how far I've actually come in life, like to where I was mentally at 2 years ago to where I'm mentally at now. Another thing I also wanted to add too is I spoke to TK's mother the other day while in the middle of making this video to get her blessing to even mention her son. She gave me her blessing, and you know, I'm praying for her, because they still have not got justice for TK. Still have not got justice for TK, and there's a lot of people. I mean, he got shot. He was shot and killed at a party. So there's people out there that know something. They're not saying anything. They know something. Somebody knows something. So if you know something, speak up. Have the courage. Stop being a coward and speak up. Stop being a coward and speak up. I don't fear nobody on this physical plane. I don't fear nobody on this physical plane. I don't fear, period. So stop being a coward, have some courage, and speak up. Because there's a mom who is hurting, a father who is hurting even more, because they haven't found justice for their son. They have not found justice for their son. But I know that I know that this too shall pass. And I know that the universe is going to work everything out the way it's supposed to be worked out. So I just want to say one last thing too, just reflecting. I just thank you guys for watching this video. You know, I'm thankful for you guys to even make it this far in the video. And I just want to say that, you know, I plan on making more and more of these, more YouTube videos. And I want to leave with a little quote today, actually. I'm going to leave you guys with a little quote for today. Now, I'm going to give you guys more books to read. I'm going to give you guys more knowledge. All right, I'm going to give you guys more. This is just my story. This video is just my story. So knowledge really hasn't been brought in this video, except the book that I suggest you guys read called Keepers of the Garden by Dolores. Now, I'm going to leave you guys with this quote right here. You don't have to know what's waiting. You're guided by your highest right, and wherever it takes you is where you need to go. Let me say that again. You don't have to know what's waiting. You're guided by your highest right, and wherever that takes you is where you need to go. So, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful and peaceful day. Out of May family.
Trump dummy.
You feel me? But we in here with Young Passion. We passion for the music.
Hey, you already
We in here
know.
for Young Passion and we showing passion for the music. That's bottom line. Young Passion, and she got us showing passion for the music.
Hey,
She didn't have to
just
do
the
this.
beginning.
You feel me?
This is just the
Passion
beginning.
could have been up here herself. But passion brought the passion. You hear me?
Tom Banks, we all
You
about
feel me? You feel me? You feel me?
We got cookies.
Shout out Maleo at HT House.
Shout out, boy.